Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The story of two fathers. One has a wall full of degrees and diplomas. One, a high school dropout. One, after death, will leave next to nothing behind except debt. The other will have died one of the richest men in Hawaii and will pass on his empire to his children. Rich Dad guides two boys on a journey to best use their minds and finite time to create wealth through investments and business. This story shows the difference between "I can't afford that" to "How can I afford that?" His poor dad would say things like, "I'll never be rich," and his prophecies became true. His rich dad, however, even after going bankrupt and having $0, would say, "I'm a rich man." There's a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. When Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book, was 9 years old, his best friend Mike and he asked Rich Dad, Mike's father, how to make money. Before long, they were both working within Rich Dad's companies. The only problem Robert had was his salary. 10 cents a week. A poverty wage. He seriously thought about quitting every week that passed by. Who was this guy to be exploiting us for 10 cents a week, he would ask himself. It was at this moment in time that Rich Dad gave them their first lesson on the topic of money. Life pushes all of us around. Some people give up and others fight. Few learn the lesson and move on. They welcome life pushing them around. Most people leave their jobs because they aren't receiving enough money. They would have already quit. But the wealthy see it as an opportunity to learn. One of life's biggest traps. They work very hard for little money, clinging to the illusion of job security, 3 weeks vacation, and a skimpy pension. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Here's how the pattern goes. Your fear of not having money motivates you to work harder. Then the paychecks begin, and your desire and greed for new cars, new products, new shoes and clothes begins. You want more things, so you work harder for that promotion. Then the pattern is set, and you're stuck in it. You get up, you go to work, you come home and you pay your bills. Your increased earning leads to increased spending, and this is the rat race. To break the boys out of the 9-to-5 mentality driven by fear and greed, eventually Rich Dad cut down the two boys' wages to zero. Robert didn't dare tell his poor dad that he was working for nothing.
What's the matter with you?
They began working solely for the knowledge, and Rich Dad forced them to think of ways to start generating their own income.
Where was I?
One day, 2 older comics were left lying around one of Rich Dad's stores, and this was the inspiration for them to open their first business. They recovered the outdated comics, opened a library in their basement, classmates paid 10 cents for entry, they paid the sister a wage of $1 a week, and before they knew it, they were earning $9.50 a week without even needing to work. This was the beginning of their journey of not working to earn money, but making money work for them. Key lesson. Getting a job is really just a short-term solution, getting enough to pay expenses, to the long-term challenge of building your net worth. The more you get paid, the higher your expenses become. This is human nature, and it's driven by fear and desire. Once you get stuck in this cycle, you are forced to work for someone else the rest of your life. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. If you're looking to school to make you rich, then you're looking in the wrong place. The education system's primary objective is to train you on how to become a good employee, but it does a poor job of making you a good employer. Things like managing your own personal finances and building wealth aren't taught to you by the education system in its current state. You can only rely on yourself to use this knowledge and acquire assets that allow you to generate an income.